Multidimensional Poverty Index. This is published by NITI Aayog and this is brought to you by Step Up WBCS, your online platform for WBCS preparation. Let's get into the details of this National Multidimensional Poverty Index, which will help you in your preparation for forthcoming exams like WBCS and UPSC. National Multidimensional Poverty Index. This is brought to you by NITI Aayog. This is published by NITI Aayog. Let's look at the details of National Multidimensional Poverty Index. The context of this being in the news is that the government think tank NITI Aayog has released the Multidimensional Poverty Index, in short MPI. This is the overall scenario of the poverty index, where you can see the parameters and the performance of the various states. This is Global Multidimensional Poverty Index. This is brought by Multidimensional Poverty Index Coordination Committee, which sets up the parameters, and this MPI parameter dashboard is prepared accordingly. MPI action plan is further strengthened based on this dashboard, and national MPI for each respective countries is formulated. Now let's look at the what is Global Multidimensional Poverty Index in details. Let's look into this. This was earlier published by United Nations Development Programme UNDP and Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative OPHI. The aim of the index is to measure poverty in all its many aspects and actually complements existing poverty statistics based on individual spending expenditure. So this is based on individual spending expenditure and it complements the existing poverty statistics. Global MPI, according to Global MPI 2021, the Indian standard is 66 out of 109 countries. So it's in midway, 66 out of 109 countries. National MPI aims to eliminate the global MPI and create a global oriented MPI for India to design broad-based transformation programs with the ultimate goal of improving India's position at global MPI levels. So the national MPI is actually trying to better India's performance under the parameters of Global MPI 2021 level. The dimensions are, it has 3 equal dimensions, that is health, education and standard of living. The 3 categories are further represented by 12 indicators. They are food, schooling years, drinking water, sanitation, housing, bank accounts and various others. These are the primary indicators. So the approach should be, the national MPI scale uses an internationally accepted and dynamic approach developed by Oxford Poverty and Human Development Index OPHI and UNDP, which was earlier stated. The base year which is selected for this MPI, national MPI, is 2015-2016 National Family Health Survey NFHS 4. So this is crucial for MCQ, that it is based on NFHS 4 and the base year is 2015-2016. So let's get into what is NFHS 4. NFHS 4 data was used to identify the concept of various basic poverty to determine the situation before the full introduction of centralized government programs. These are this is actually the data which was obtained before the full introduction of centralized government programs, which actually measures the basic poverty. The indicators which are used are further discussed over here. NFHS 4 preceded the full implementation of programs of central government affecting housing, drinking water, sanitation, electricity, cooking oil, investment and other major efforts to improve schooling, nutrition, maternal and child health, etc. So these are the basic criterias, and the basic aim is to improve the yardsticks measuring these parameters: schooling, nutrition, maternal and child health. The suggestion is that, however, it should be noted here that NFHS 5 data suggests improvements. That was NFHS 4, now this is NFHS 5. NFHS 5 data suggests improvements in access to clean cooking fuel, this is improvement, sanitation and electricity, which means a reduction in demand. So this is a very good progressive image for India. Key findings of the index. Now let's get into the key findings of the index. Poverty level. Bihar has the highest number of people in the country, followed by Jharkhand and Uttar Pradesh, who are poor in terms of rank. This is the national parameters, this national multidimensional poverty index. So this is the rank. Bihar has performed very poorly, followed by Jharkhand and Uttar Pradesh. Kerala has registered the poorest poverty rates, followed by Pondicherry, Lakshadweep, Goa and Sikkim. So the poorest poverty rates is achieved by Kerala, which is performing really well, followed by Puducherry or Pondicherry, Lakshadweep, Goa and Sikkim. Malnourished people. Bihar also has the highest number of malnourished people, followed by Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. These are the traditional performers who are always there in this poverty index, performing very well, and actually they are performing very poorly. Now let's look at the overall performance of India. Under the Cabinet Secretary's Global Indices for Reforms and Growth GIRG initiative, the country's performance is being monitored across 29 global indices, including Global Development Index, Global Hunger Index, Global Competitiveness Index, Global Capital Index, Global Innovation Index, among others. These are the parameters which are mainly focused upon. The exercise is aimed at leveraging the monitoring mechanism of important social, economic and other internationally recognized indices, enabling the utilization of these indices as tools for bringing about reforms to improve outcomes and correspondingly reflect them in India's performance in these indices globally. These indices, they are required for bringing about reforms to improve the outcomes and results, and they will be correspondingly reflected in India's performance globally. NITI Aayog is the nodal ministry for MPI, that is Multidimensional Poverty Index. According to Global MPI 2021, India's rank is 66 out of 109 countries. This has been discussed before also. Now, importance of the index. What is the importance of the index? Now let's look at the contribution to establish a community policy tool. The development of the index is an important contribution to the development of a social policy tool that monitors various poverty, informing evidence-based and focused interventions. This is very important. It is evidence-based and focused intervention, thus ensuring that no one is left behind. No one is left behind. This is the main objective. Showing all image of poverty. This paints a complete picture of poverty in the country. This paints a complete picture of poverty in the country and also provides an in-depth analysis of the areas of interest such as districts, regions as well as specific sectors and complementing financial poverty statistics available. So this paints a complete picture which shows every portion of the poverty. It is not that one-sided image of the poverty is shown, it shows all the images of poverty. Assistance in achieving the SDGs. It is a contribution to measuring progress towards the 1.2 Sustainable Development Goals, that is SDGs, aimed at reducing at least half of men and women and children of all ages living in poverty in all its aspects. Actually, it is targeting to reduce the poverty, number of poverty stricken men, women and children to half. So the assistance is being provided in achieving the SDG 1.2 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. However, preliminary observations from NFHS 5 2019-2020 suggest improvement in access to clean cooking fuel, sanitation and electricity, which translates to reduction in deprivation. This NFHS 5, the earlier version was NFHS 4, and this 4 to 5 transition, it has already indicated that there is improvement in clean cooking fuel, access to clean cooking fuel, sanitation and electricity, which already amplifies that there is reduction in deprivation. Additionally, the state reports released for 22 states and UTs suggest reduction in deprivation in school attendance, which is very essential, drinking water, bank accounts and housing. So the parameters suggest that there is reduction in deprivation in school attendance, drinking water, bank accounts and housing. These improvements indicate an overall direction of significant reduction in the incidence of multidimensional poverty in the forthcoming index based on NFHS 5 2019-2020 household microdata. So the MPI or the multidimensional poverty index based on NFHS 5 will be far more forward looking and there is improvement. Thank you for staying tuned to this audio video presentation. Hope you have enjoyed this session, and this will help not only in MCQ preparation but also will help you in giving you a holistic dimension to this multidimensional poverty index. This will also help you in writing paragraph and essays and letter. So thank you.